So, first of all, Doa, thank you very much for meeting with us today. We appreciate you agreeing to the interview. Our first question is, what is your favorite aspect of Overwatch? Why, both as a player and as a caster? What do you like about it?
Firstly, I'm just happy to be doing a first-person shooter again. I grew up with, all the way back to, the shareware DOS version of Wolfenstein 3D, into Doom, into Quake 3 Arena, which was, one of my favorite FPSs ever. So, all through my years of doing esports, I've enjoyed the games I've done, StarCraft, League, Hearthstone, it's all been great, but I'm really just, more than anything, with Overwatch, happy to be doing an FPS again. So, the fact that it's a first-person shooter is kind of what makes me, I guess, the happiest right now.
For sure. And compared to some of the other FPSs that you've done in the past, how does Overwatch stack up?
I haven't casted any any other FPSs in the past, but as far as ones I've played, it's easily one of the most fun, if not the most fun FPS I've ever played. Because firstly, it's fast paced. I like fast paced FPSs. I was a big Quake 3 Arena fan, Unreal Tournament fan, and to me, the pace of the game, the speed at which you move around the map, feels very like Unreal Tournament, and I love that about it. So it's probably the best FPS I've ever played, I guess. I'm playing it all the time. I'm playing Overwatch way more than any of the other games I've ever casted, except for maybe StarCraft 2.
Monty has been very vocal on his motivations for switching over to Overwatch from League, but what about you? Without a doubt, you and Monty were somewhat the face of LCK for the Western audience. You two opened the world to the LCK with your refreshing take on casting that has influenced many aspiring individuals over the years and helped build the Korean player narrative. What motivated you to leave everything behind and return to America for Overwatch?
It was a number of factors. I really loved my time in Korea. Korea kind of made me who I am as far as an esports caster goes. And I did really love casting League of Legends. But, of course, the friction between, especially Monty and Riot, and to a lesser extent myself and Riot is well documented. So there's, of course, those factors that are part of it. But, more than anything, when you're a caster, I feel like there just comes a point where you want to move on, and you've done a game for 5 years like we did, League of Legends, and you kind of are looking for something a little bit newer, a little bit more refreshing. And so for me personally, it was, like I mentioned before, the opportunity to cast an FPS was, really good, of course. As soon as I saw the trailer when they unveiled it at BlizzCon, a couple of years ago, I was like, that's my next game. That's what I'm going to do. And I talked to Monty right away, and it's all right, this is our next game. So we, been planning to switch almost immediately after we saw the trailer, just because there's a lot of exciting stuff in there. And, then as we learn more about the game, that it does still have those MOBA elements, so you can still have a lot of the cool stuff, that you enjoyed in League with, comboing abilities, different compositions, all that kind of stuff still carries over to Overwatch, but you get it in this really sleek FPS package. And, both of us, and I've been a Blizzard fanboy since the mid-90s with Warcraft 1, and, just being able to focus on a Blizzard game again primarily has been, a lot of fun too. And so when we kind of started hearing that Blizzard was doing this Overwatch League thing and that they wanted us to come and cast it, we were obviously really excited to look into the opportunity, and we'd had a lot of conversations about, what it would take to get us out of Korea, and, it was going to take a lot, but this seemed to be the opportunity to, to do it. So it's a good opportunity, and for us too, for me, I should speak about myself more, I suppose, but, it's, for me, I want to get more involved in developing the scene than I was able to in Korea. I know Monty feels the same way, but I especially want to get involved in more caster development because I think right now there's a big lack of good casters in esports in general, and that's only going to get worse, right? We're going to need more casters the bigger esports gets and the bigger Overwatch League gets in future years. So, I want to be back here and get into the education side of things. You look at the collegiate side of things. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. So it was just a combination of an awesome game that we wanted to do, something fresh, and then, an opportunity to really start to help improve the esports scene in the West too, because Korea doesn't really need any help, so we come home,